So a common theme that I often see pop up in my videos about lucid dreaming and mental health is how there are other people who are wanting to use lucid dreaming to explore their own mental health issues, but are currently too stressed out or too depressed to get lucid in the first place. And this is something that I can definitely relate to. As much as I advocate the use of lucid dreaming for personal growth and exploring mental health issues, there are plenty of times when my own mental health has got in the way of my lucid dreaming, which is incredibly frustrating because for me, lucid dreaming has been one of the more effective tools in managing and making sense of my mental health experiences. So when my mental health gets in the way of lucid dreaming, I get stuck in this pretty vicious circle. So here are just a few little tips that I can offer you to help you if you find yourself in a similar situation. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is sleep. If you aren't sleeping well, then for one thing, that's also going to have a bad impact on your mental health. But other than that, it's going to have a negative impact on your dreams. Your dream recall, your level of awareness in dreams, all of those things are going to suffer. So trying to establish a better sleeping routine is hopefully going to help you in this situation. So one of the things that really works for me is ASMR. Now if you don't know what ASMR is, it stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, I think. And this involves using sensory stimuli to create a tingly sensation in the body or feelings of deep relaxation. As well as that, I quite like listening to white noise or listening to the sound of rain or the sound of a campfire. Anything like that for me I find to be quite soothing, to be quite calming, and it helps to kind of block out all of the very negative and distracting thoughts which often keep me awake. I also really like things that light up and change colour. So for example, I've got this mood cube, which if I turn it on, you might be able to see, it changes colour. And stuff like this as well has always been very soothing for me. So I always have things like this nearby to help me if I'm struggling to sleep. I also quite like burning incense or candles. Basically for me, it seems to be a lot about sensory stuff, and sensory stuff that's soothing for me and helps me to feel calm, relaxed and safe. So moving away from sleep and to things that are more specific to lucid dreaming, one of the things that I definitely find the hardest when I'm feeling quite depressed or just not in a good headspace is motivation. And I think every lucid dreamer can relate to this, regardless of mental health or not. It's quite hard to maintain motivation for lucid dreaming. Now if I find myself in having a bit of a dry spell and in a bad place, setting goals can be really helpful, and setting goals that are quite simple, that don't require a lot from me, is helpful as well. Because if I set out a load of goals which are quite hard or require a lot of work, chances are I'm not going to be able to follow through on that, and that's just going to make me feel worse about myself, and then I'm going to get more depressed, and the cycle goes on and on. So even if it's something as simple as I will have a lucid dream this month, that can be your goal, and that can be the thing that you can work towards. Really, it all depends on what you feel capable of doing and what it is that you want to achieve, but I would definitely recommend setting some simple goals that you can work towards. And as well as that, you can always reward yourself with something for achieving those goals. So again, that's really up to you what you think will work best for you. Belief is another thing as well, and I know that when you're depressed or stressed out, that it's very hard to be positive or have a lot of belief in yourself. For me, I have a lot of self-doubt, I have a lot of confidence and self-esteem issues. So belief and believing in myself is one of those things that I've always struggled with. But lucid dreaming goes very much on belief. It's very much a mental practice, and belief plays a big part in that. If you don't believe you can get lucid, then it's going to make things a lot harder. So having belief in yourself and your ability to get lucid will definitely go a long way when it comes to actually getting lucid. So another thing I might do on a night when I am relaxing myself is remind myself that I am a lucid dreamer, that I can lucid dream, and that I will lucid dream. And if it turns out that I don't get lucid that night, I will be kind to myself. I won't beat myself up for it. I won't make myself feel bad. I will just remind myself that tomorrow is another day, and I will try again then. The more stress you put on yourself, the more pressure you put on yourself, it's going to make things harder. And if you're already in a shitty place, that's the last thing you want to do. Now, I know that everyone's situation is different, and I can't speak for everybody, but being kind to myself, being a friend to myself, is one of those things that not only helps with lucid dreaming, but kind of helps with everything overall. And again, it comes back to that thing of, I know when you're not in a good place, being friends with yourself is also quite a challenge. And I usually stick with my 5 fundamental, that's not 5, that's 4, my 5 fundamental elements of lucid dreaming, which is something that I came up with Sid a few years ago, and it's the thing that I kind of stick with for lucid dreaming. Now, I'm not trying to promote my techniques or anything here, but I will leave a link to the video where I talk more in depth about those things there. But basically, what I talk about is the 5 things that I always focus on for lucid dreaming, and that's relaxation, awareness, positive mindset, enthusiasm, and creativity. But again, you can see all that there. The thing to remember is that there's a lot of us who are in this position, and just because you aren't getting lucid on a frequent basis, just because you aren't where you want to be yet with lucid dreaming, doesn't mean that you've failed. It doesn't mean that you'll never get to that point. It just means having to find something that works best for you. And if you're dealing with issues of mental health, of depression or anxiety or anything at all, then you have that kind of added challenge. But it is possible, because I'm doing it, and you know, I'm not really the most stable person, and I'm managing to do it. So definitely having belief in yourself, taking it easy on yourself, making sure that your sleeping environment promotes relaxation and calmness are all steps you can take towards maintaining a better lucid dreaming practice. So that's all I really wanted to say for this video, guys. I'm happy to talk more on this subject, and of course I'm happy to talk with you in the comments. If there's anything you want to share, then feel free to do that. And I mean, I'm not always the fastest at replying to things, but I will do my best. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you would like to support me on Patreon, there is a link to my Patreon page down below. Feel free to check that out. There's also 20% off on Vivid Dream products. Now, Vivid Dream make things such as Lucid Escape, Deeper Sleep and Supermind, which are all supplements that I have tried and had quite a lot of success with. So if you're interested in that, the link and code will be in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been Max, aka the Rara Rabbit. We'll see you in the next video.